It's impossible to change until you have acknowledged what is actually real. And what's been happening with Ted Lasso, if you look at it, there are a couple of things in Ted Lasso that he struggles with. He struggles with his wife. He struggles with the decision to bench Roy Kent. And he struggles very briefly with himself, with his feelings after he has his one-night stand with Sassy. It was only a brief struggle, but there was a struggle nonetheless. And what all those things have in common is Ted Lasso refusing to accept reality. In the case of his relationship with his wife, the reality is it's just not working anymore, right? They wish that it would work. They want it to work. They wish that the truth was different, but they're unwilling to accept the truth. They're unwilling to accept the bad along with the good. And that struggle to accept the truth is the thing that causes the greatest tension in Ted, right? You see him wrestling with it. You see him causing anxiety attacks. You see him avoiding things like sending over the divorce papers, which he would normally just take care of immediately because he's refusing to accept the truth. It's not about optimism. It's about acceptance. Same holds true for benching Roy. He's developed this wonderful relationship with Roy, who he sees as a fantastic human being. And Roy is a hero to so many, both on the club and in the fans in the stands. And yet, the truth is, Roy isn't as good as he once was. Roy is no longer their best chance to win. And Ted's refusal to accept that is the thing that causes the tension between him and Beard and Nate. And his refusal to accept the truth is mirrored by Roy's refusal to accept the truth. And the reason they don't want to accept the truth, at least in Roy's case, is because he believes that that's all he is, the great football star. And he's worried that if he accepts that truth, that he's accepting a diminished role. And so what I would say is acceptance is the key, the ability to accept yourself, the good and the bad, so that if you want to make a change, you can. But also importantly, the way Ted actually makes people be willing to be vulnerable is because he's accepting of them, whoever they are, whatever they are, for what they are. The reason vulnerability is so scary is because it's an opportunity for us to share our true selves, something that is really about our identity and who we are. And that's scary because when we share our true self, instead of being closed off and defensive, someone can reject us and really hurt us. But the way Ted brings everyone out is by his acceptance of them for who they are and what they are, whether they are Ollie, the driver who brings him to the flat and with whom he has that dinner at his father-in-law's restaurant, or Rebecca when he says, I forgive you. Divorce is hard, it makes people do crazy things. Or Roy, or Jamie Tartt, probably one of the most poignant relationships where Jamie is like, wait a minute, no, I can't make myself vulnerable. Jamie is so defensive because he's been hurt so much by his father. And yet you can see Ted slowly wearing him down, not by being optimistic, not by having hope, not by being nice, but by being accepting, by accepting who he is. And again, we see that happen throughout the show. And that acceptance of the self and then the acceptance of the other, I think, is the true message of Ted Lasso.